All right, let's get more into this run and shoot offense. In this one, I'm going to talk about some things that are just little tips, little things, adjustments I make to help better run it, at least for me, and at least on Madden. You know, maybe if you're coaching high school or something like that, it might not apply, but to Madden it does. And I wanted to get into some five wide here, but let me make sure it's actually five receivers because a lot of times it will put a tight end over here for me for some reason. And I'm using my mutt team. And let's actually help out the blocking here. Somebody gave me a tip. I don't know why I didn't do this in previous videos, but if you put it to aggressive during practice, it helps with the blocking so you can actually do a video. But I wanted to show some cool five wide plays because I don't think I've done that yet. Um, I guess the first two ones I'll just show real. I'm not going to show, just talk about here. Levels. It's cool because it's just like a lot of the plays from the trips kind of formations where you got three receivers to one side, and you'll have a lot of those levels or level switch kind of play, and you can run it here with five wide. So you're running the same kind of scheme. You just have it in a different formation where it looks different. And pivot is nice because you got those two zigs, and if you don't have the hot route master, you can't do the zig routes. So right there you have two zigs, and that can help out, especially against some man coverage. But some plays here that at least I don't think I've gone over. Uh, I'm gonna go over here, and that is basically these three plays right here. We're going to start with curl flat corner, and I'm going to have the three wide receivers to the open side of the field. I've already put myself to a hash mark. I'm going to put just random dime. So here we are. We're going to take Campbell, who is doing a corner route, and we're going to motion him over, and he's going to be doing a post. So what we got is basically a middle flood. You know how you usually have a flood like this to the sideline, where you have a deep, medium, and short route? We're basically doing that flood, but over the middle of the field. And what I first look for when I run this is the safeties. I see that there's two back there. Looks like it could be cover two, uh, possibly a man, but I wasn't paying attention when I motioned. And sometimes what I would do is I'll take square over here, over to the far left, and I might put him on the L2 comeback here, so that if it ends up being a cover three of some sort, I keep that corner down. I make sure he stays down so that Campbell, when he does that corner route, he might not get open over the middle of the field because they'll have that single high safety. But when he gets towards the seam, he should get open. And if, especially if that corner stays down, then out there to that sideline, he should get real open. So that's mainly the first look to see what happens here. If those two safeties, if they split apart, we know we got to cover two. We'll try to hit over the middle of the field. If one of them drops over the middle, we'll try to see if we get the corner on the left to stay down, and then we'll still hit Campbell, but we have to wait a little bit longer. And if those two safeties kind of stay kind of in that area, we know we got a cover four, and we're not going to want to necessarily hit Campbell. We'll have to look at the safety who's on our left here. And if he stays down, which he probably won't, we could hit Campbell over the top of him. But if he drops back, that's when we start looking to other options like R1 here, which I have Edelman coming over the middle, and then I have Samuel Jr. there. And something what I would like to do is, because I want Edelman's route to go a little bit deeper and maybe Samuel's route a little bit shorter, is I'll motion him. Well, I can't actually do that. I'll show you that in a different play because I already did a motion. I think it's weird that you can't do two motions in one play, but Anyway, let's just run this a couple times and we'll see how it all plays out. We see the safety split. That middle linebacker got pretty deep. We'll look at the replay because I still got pressured before I could throw the ball. Let's come over here. You're going to notice the guy right here. He plays deep back, so we got to cover 2. Right? And it's a 4-man rush. I should have had plenty of time, especially with the adjustment, but he got free. We see there, right there, he got free right in the middle. But that's not what we want to look at. These 2 quick passes I could have thrown, but I was being greedy here. And I was thinking of this here, but he dropped back way too deep. Way too deep, and then I got hit. But those 2 over the middle. And now I hope you can see why at times I want to make an adjustment so that Edelman goes a little bit deeper, because they're like right on top of each other. So let's resume here. You see that either what I'll do is take circle and I'll put him on an in. Whoops, that's not an in. So that he doesn't cut as fast. So they're not like right next to each other. So now when I come over here, do this motion, it looks kind of like it's man. Looks like they kind of flipped the zone, to be honest. Now when Edelman and Samuel go over the middle, they're not right on top of one another. So I'll run that to show that as well. The safety's kind of split. And I get sacked before I can throw. I could have hit circle there. But let's look at the replay to show you. I was actually looking here because I saw the safety split. I saw the middle linebacker staying a little bit shallow. I was like, hey, I think I have this. That safety did have good coverage, which made me hesitate because then now I have to direct where I'm going to throw. And now as you can see, where Edelman, he's cutting across, and there's actually some space between them now, where Samuel is not right underneath him, because sometimes that's an issue. You don't want 2 guys right in the same area at the same time, right? Because that's easy to cover. One person can be right in the way of both those guys, but now, since they're spread out, that helps. And another thing I like to do, since this looks like a cover 3, we'll run it one more time the way I've been showing you. And we'll put Samuel on an in. Or another thing we can do, we'll put him back on that drag, is we'll take Edelman and we will smart route him. So he goes a little bit deeper. And this also causes that separation. We'll look at the replay for that too. But since it's, cover 3, we're going to try to wait. Edelman was wide open, but I wanted to hit the big play. We'll look at the replay to show you. First, we'll look at Campbell here. We see right here, look at all this open grass. I didn't even have to put this guy on a hitch, right? As soon as he gets past this safety, which I didn't have time for that to happen, you see all that open grass. So I hope you understand why I was looking for that. But since we put Edelman a bit deeper, you see where he is, and there's a lot more space between him and the drag, right? So now that's a lot harder for a user to cover. He can come down here and cover the drag, but boom, we have Edelman wide open, right? So when you're doing this, that's what I suggest. If you're running this play, either take Edelman, smart route him, or hot route Samuel to be on an in, so it gives a little bit of separation. Because again, if I run this just the way it is, look how close they are. I could have thrown the ball, but I just wanted to show, like, look at that. That's a problem if you ask me. But another thing I'll do is I'll take Samuel, I'll motion him so that he comes underneath. I like to do this like in the red zone. You got this little high-low. You can have the quick throw to Samuel, or you wait for Edelman. Just quick, boom, right? In the red zone, when you're inside, I'm going to say 15, 10 yards. This is a good play. Or if you just need short yardage, or you want to mix things up, because you can still just put Jones on a streak, and then you have a flood to that side, right? So you can do something quick over here over the middle, or you can try to hit that corner route, which I got hit while doing. But that's one play. I know I didn't show you any completions, but yeah. Uh, I hope you can see how that one plays out hypothetically. Anyway, so let's come back over to those plays. Switch inside. Let's go to that. Let's go to random dime. What I like is just looking at either side here. The play as it is works very well. Looks like I'm being blitzed to the left here. We'll see how that works out. To the right, we have a little dagger, so we'll look at that. And a lot of times you can just get right underneath that slot corner or safety, whoever's there in the slot. He gets drawn back by that streak, and then you can hit Samuel right underneath. And I got hit right when I was throwing it. But you see, that's just a simple little read, right? You just mix this in. Doing the same motion with this play, it's not going to be the best, but you could still do that. And I just threw a crappy pass, but I know I wouldn't do this. I was just showing that route combination when you do that motion doesn't really work. So just wanted to share that. Another thing is if you have time and you see the safeties the way they are, you can get that slant pretty wide open so that they kind of rolled over to a cover 3. So when they do that, sometimes you can hit the seam here, but I have like less than 2 seconds to throw this ball. And again, I'm going to look at the replay, show you that slant looks kind of like a deep slant, basically a post, but he's open. He's open right here, and I could have waited to give him some more room, but I was trying to throw it already because he's open. But I'm like, hike, instead of throw, it's hike, hit. Which is annoying. I should have put it on Pro instead of All Madden, but I wanted to show you it on All Madden. Show you that the plays work, but practice, for some reason, they could do a 3-man rush and still beat on you. But like I said, you can leave the play as it is, look to left or right, and it's a pretty good play. But if you want it to look the same, you would have to take Campbell here, motion him over to really make it look like you're running the same play, so they think maybe you're going to do that post with Campbell. But I wouldn't leave it on this route because it may interfere with the little in there, that little dig route, as I'll show here. It's kind of good coverage there. I could have thrown it to that little hitch route he did, a little slant hitch. I don't even know what you would call this. It's a little slant hitch here. Usually I hot route him to something else, like a drag or a slant. But for some reason, I felt like showing, because usually what happens is, like with a cloud flat or something, the cloud flat is able to cover him and still be in the way on that dig. But for some reason, that's not happening. So maybe this does work. Where they think you're going to do that post, but instead you're focused over here to the right. And yeah, that was open, but circle was open. I'll show the replay. Alright, so he was looking at that hitch. That slot guy covered him. This guy, if I thrown it to him, maybe he made a catch, but he's going to get hit. So my option was this guy, and when I saw him, I was like, no, I'm going to get hit. I was fine, but they already got in my head, and I was like, run. So right when I saw him open, I was already getting ready to run. So that's why I didn't make that throw. But as I was running, I was like, bro is open. And I should have thrown it here, because then he actually has time to either protect himself or go upfield before that middle linebacker gets him. Yeah, that is that for that play. It's just some little adjustments. I'm not showing anything kind of fancy in this video. But one I like here is stick. This one you can obviously mix in with the other one where you're not doing any kind of motion, but what I suggest is actually putting triangle here on a flat route, because I noticed an issue when they're both doing outs, because Dotson has an option route, but if he does an out with Campbell doing an out, sometimes, let's say it's man coverage, the guy manned up on Campbell sometimes gets in the way and kind of, even if he doesn't pay attention, ends up breaking up the pass or making a play on Dotson's out route, even though he's not focused on him. But when I noticed when I did this, it caused this nice little space. So if Dotson does do his out and it's man coverage, because usually that's when he's going to do his out, is when it's man coverage, that slot guy is going hardcore to the flat, which gives you a lot of space. A lot of space. And if you want to make it look like you're doing one of those other plays, you can just do something like this. And what I suggest is putting circle on that streak, and you're kind of doing that same kind of dagger concept, but in a very condensed inside manner, where circle here, your goal is to drag off the coverage of that slot guy above him and the safety, get their attention, so that when Edelman cuts over the middle, there's nobody there. So we'll run that to see how that goes, and that's how exactly it played out. It's like a quick dagger, but with a slant instead of the in. We're just going to set that up, but we're going to look over to the left this time. Put him on this little drag. It looks like a zone, so we might be able to just do the quick hitch to Dotson. But I'm also going to look at the safety, because with this press coverage, I might be able to hit Jones deep over to the left there. But we'll take just the quick, easy pass. I want to try to get a man coverage here so I can show you the big difference here. Because with this, that hitch gets open against zone, a lot of zones. It can really draw the attention of the user, which can open up other things. Like when you put pressure on him going, hey, he's going to do something over the middle. Is it a drag, slant? What's coming over the middle to the right? Well, then he can't focus on the right and on the hitch over here. Right? He has to adjust. But I might just have to back out and go to man coverage to show you that when you do this little thing here, yeah, I'll just back out and go to man coverage to show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so I forgot how to do new play. Alright, so I'll come back over here to stick. We'll come out in this formation. Let's go cover 2 man. Alright, so I'm not going to do the adjustment. I want to show you how those two routes, they can still work, but sometimes there's, trying to fit it in, that didn't work. But that time the spacing was pretty good, but I just noticed more consistently if I put that little flat route, when he goes over there, I can make that throw without the inside guy making the play. As you saw the first time, I had to kind of throw a bit of a bullet so that he wouldn't run into that slot guy covering Campbell, right? Which led it to the guy covering him being able to make a play. But since I did that slant, I'm able to put a little bit of touch on it and throw it up where he doesn't make a play. Put a little bit too much touch on that one. But just showing you how that little difference there is actually pretty big. But he made a play. It's mutt, so everybody's like really good. Really, really good. But let's show like some cool things about this. When you have 5 wide and you have someone like Jalen Hurts, or you have a mutt quarterback who's good, a good runner, they don't have anybody really stopping the run. They don't think you're going to run, and then they stop it anyway. But yeah, you can always just do your blast. I kind of think I already did a video about this, but And I have a guy in the middle who has inside stuff, so that doesn't help. But you can also switch over to the jut pass here. I wouldn't generally do this, but against man, it should work pretty well because his guy is going to be trailing. But their guy makes it. My team makes a play there. I think he has no outsiders. But just showing you how you can move things around. I wonder if I can double team that guy, if that will help. Yeah, they made sure they blocked him, but it didn't really help. And the blast, make sure that guy's double teamed. I just wanted to get some positive yards. So yeah, what are my other audibles? Yeah, curl flat corner. Oh, GT field option. Let's actually go to this. This one's go to random defense again. We'll be playing cover 2 this whole time, so let's go to that. It's actually a play I like, and I think we'll wrap it up with this one. I like it because there's options. It's option routes. It's what the run and shoot's about, right? So with this here, you can run it as is, but you can focus on the option routes, obviously. But what I would warn about is if you go to the outside guys, if you notice they're not going straight, they're kind of going towards the sideline. It's kind of like a streak fade. And sometimes when people do streaks, sometimes I'll lead them up and to the sideline. But when you lead them up and towards the sideline on this route that you see Samuel and Jones doing, you might lead them out of bounds a good chunk of the time because their route leads them to the outside anyway. So if you're going to lead more to that way, there's a good chance you're going to throw it out of bounds. I might actually show that real quick. I know the coverage is right there, and I threw that pretty dang quick. I guess I got to work on my offensive line. But let's lead it over. Yeah, you see how it's right there out of bounds? All I did was slightly lead it up and to the outside. Same thing on this side. I want to do it over here. That was just crazy. And I think it's because of the route. Another thing is you see that it's a cover 3. Sometimes you can bring him over and he will attack that seam. I don't recall him doing that. I kind of want to see how that looks. That's kind of interesting. Does a little shimmy shake. That's actually new. That I haven't seen that happen. He usually just stays on a streak. Now I got to make a whole little adjustment to that because that looks like a nice little corner route. If I just put Jones on a streak, maybe put Edelman on a streak because he'll tack the seam. And he's kind of like underneath little slant. That's actually kind of cool. That, I just accidentally saw a new play. Alright, so, yeah, let's draw the coverage back. This time, they have a lot of coverage over there, so we'll look at the option route on the other side. But that looks like that is a good combo with the post route, because you're motioning them over, they think you're doing that post route, but you're not. Right, so you do this little thing here. I saw the man, and my guy dropped it. But if they come out in a zone, they got 4 guys over there, so he might not get open again. So we'll quickly look back to the option route. Nope, they are all out of the way. I could have ran with that, but I was playing it safe. Yeah, it's a nice little clear out for like a post. That's... I don't know if anybody's come across this. I accidentally messed up the play here. Let's reset. And this is to the... What the heck did I do? Reset play. Hot route. So if I hot route him, his route does... Huh, I have to wait. Okay, now it's working. That's weird.
Hey, Silver.
Let's do that. Dang, he dropped off. Almost made a play on that. Almost got me. That's actually pretty good. So what I'm actually going to do is flip it and see if it works better to the open side of the field. So let's... But that's kind of a tell. Oops, motion the wrong guy. Thank you for your patience. Let's take Campbell. Maybe you can work with him too, because he looks like he's doing a fade. We will try that too. So you could motion either one of those guys over. We'll try it. Alright, so open side of the field. Looks like it works just as good either side, but what we're going to try this time, since he's doing a fade, when we motion him, does he... Oh, we can't motion him all the way across. Oh yeah, I gotta flip it. Thank you again for your patience. Now I should be able to motion him to the other side of the field, and he's doing kind of a fade, so let's see if the same adjustment happens to him. It does. So then we just streak R, streak square, and now we can use either one of those guys. He dropped it, but I ended up mixing in another play. But I'll show you what I was trying to do. Is usually against cover 3, I'll take it, he'll come over and he'll be on a streak, and he'll hit that seam. And he was wide open. That wasn't a cover 3, but he was... I'll show you, he was wide open, and I was throwing it when I got hit. Right here, he's open, because that guy's going to go cover in. And that guy's open too. They just had busted coverage. But when you can get a sack in 2 seconds, it doesn't matter. Or less than 2 seconds. But that is that. I got some other things I was thinking about getting into, but I want to keep the videos a little shorter. So that is that for this video. I got to learn something cool about that little fade. And you like these videos, watching all the way through like you did is a great way to support the channel. You want to keep helping support the channel where I'll make more content more regularly, especially about Madden and the run and shoot. Then like, subscribe, share the video, interact in the comment section. That's where I learned, hey, why don't you just turn on the aggressive blocking? It'll help you when you are doing your practice. But maybe it's because it's mutt. I should have just done it in regs or something. But yeah, those kind of things help. And I'm trying to do this more regularly and even get into other games. My nephews have gotten me into Marvel Rivals, and I was thinking of doing some stuff on that. But I don't know how I would do some stuff on that. But it's actually kind of fun game. It's a free to play game. It's pretty cool stuff. Kind of a little bit addicting, slightly addicting, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, you will, if you want to and you're able to support financially, there's going to be ways where you can do so in the info box. But that's up to you. I'm still going to try to do this, but if you help support in any way, it'll help me do this regularly. And any other tips you got to make better videos, you know, I'm not going to spend a lot of time editing, but if there's certain information you'd like to see, certain things you think I'm wasting time on, please share it. Help me out here. And time looks like it's running out. I have to say this. Can't finish this video without saying it, but the world is becoming a scarier place where it looks like economic collapse, world war, all kinds of different things could be possibly on the horizon here. And on top of that, you never know when your time is up. You just don't. God forbid your time is up right now, right? And you need to make sure you're ready to go into eternity and face judgment. Because there's only 2 places you're going to go once judged. And that's to paradise or to hell. And there's a lot of humble pie that we need to eat, and that is that we don't deserve heaven, we deserve hell. And to think otherwise is just arrogant. God is perfect, and He has a paradise of perfection. What makes you think that you deserve that? I don't understand why you would have such an ego to think, well, I'm not that bad of a person. Well, are you perfect? Have you never lied, never stolen, never lusted, never hated? Do you not struggle with any of these things even today? I mean, there's a lot of humble pie to realize you're either perfect or you deserve to be thrown out. And I think that's a thing a lot of people have trouble with. We see it with the relationships with men and women today, where these women have spent their youth messing around and being promiscuous, and then when they want to settle down, the man is like, well, are you a virgin? What's your body count? And they're offended by such a thing. And it's like, well, you want to get married. There's a standard that the guy's going to have. Why do you not care about what he wants? It's all about what you want and what you think you deserve. You think you deserve this, but you don't. And these women lack that humility to accept the fact that they don't deserve all these things that they actually really want. And it's just a reflection of how humanity is with God. And we need to eat that humble pie so that we can accept God's mercy and grace, where He gives us mercy where He doesn't give us what we deserve, which is hell. Instead, He steps in the way as Jesus and takes on what we deserve. And He gives us grace, which is what we don't deserve, where He's willing to freely give us heaven. But we have to admit we don't deserve it so that we can accept His replacement for us. And a lot of people really have a lot of hard time eating that humble pie. And I hope you would eat that humble pie today, because more people the merrier, right? You spend eternity together, and maybe we'll still be talking about the run and shoot. Have some fun with that. Maybe there'll be some games playing with the angels or something. I don't know. But it would be fun, right? I would like to see you there. I hope you'd want to be there. But with that being said, thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll try to do this more often. Just life has been a little bit rocky. Today was a good day, and I decided I would do this. So hope you enjoyed. There's not a lot of run and shoot concepts, but it's just some stuff from the 5 wide that I like to do. Like I was mentioning, I would also suggest checking out these plays that you can just run as is, like I think I already brought up, and that was these little levels and pivot Z in. Really good as is, right? Really good as is. Because they're a lot of the same concepts you get from the other places. And then the 5 wide, I noticed, is just pretty much the one play that has option routes. That was a bit disappointing. But, oh yeah, there's stick, but it has one option there. But, yeah. Oh, that's that. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.